What's up YouTube, I'm just another guy and welcome back to my Rise to Fame. So here we are, the 1st of April, and we have ourselves another cup final here at FC Lahti. So yeah, we're in the cup final again, which is brilliant. It's exactly what we wanted. Our chance to win our 4th bit of silverware here at the team. And what has been a difficult winter break, or a difficult off-season I'll call it, because it's more than just a winter. But yeah, what has been a difficult off-season for us could be about to end in the perfect way before we go into the league season where we are considered favourites. So something I quickly want to point out, coaching badge, which I applied for last time and got, or I got the go ahead that I could try and get my coaching badge. I actually failed in the coaching course. It doesn't actually tell you. I don't think FM tells you if you fail your coaching badge or not. But I just had a look. I realised I didn't actually have a coaching badge. So again, just before I started recording, I asked the board if I could get myself the national A license, and they said, yeah, go ahead. So hopefully in 4 months' time, I'll have myself a new coaching badge, which again will hopefully improve my coaching stats. But one thing I did just notice whilst on this screen is that mentally I've now got 20 player knowledge, and I know for a fact that is something I didn't have before. So that's going up, which is really neat. Hopefully other stats will follow soon. But yeah, let's talk about how the off-season went. So transfer-wise, it was very, very frustrating. I couldn't really find many good players out there. And one of the main reasons for this, actually, I want to go off this page quickly, is because of my scouts. I have 5 good scouts, very good scouts here. But I don't know whether it's a rule with the league or whether it's just the club itself, my club in particular. But every scout here only accepts a part-time amateur contract, sorry, not even part-time. And so what that means is you send your scout out to scout a player, he'll come back with hardly any knowledge. And then, you'll have to scout him. So say if on a full-time deal you scout them 3 or 4 times, you'll probably have all their knowledge. Part-time, again, it'll be increased. Amateur, it's just ridiculous. You scout a player and you don't even get one solid stat. So, you get maybe a range. You get, so say if I had no knowledge on a player, I'd get 4 stats maybe back from him, typically. And then they'll be in a range of maybe 10 to like 17, say. So it's not even like it's a narrow range. So that gives me no knowledge of the player. And then, of course, trials was nerfed recently. You can't just bring a guy in on trial and you see all these stats instantly. So it's made this job a little bit harder. But so yeah, transfers are very hard. We were very hard to actually improve the team in the positions I wanted to. We brought in 5 players, but none of them are starters. So I was unable to get the new goalkeeper I wanted. In fact, I was unable to get a backup goalkeeper. So yeah, you'll see that problem today, because our first choice and only senior goalkeeper went out and played international football and misses this game due to travelling. That's great. But yeah, so we were unable to really improve the starting 11. So in the end, it was just backup. We were able to get a bit of backup here and there. So anyway, the outs, we released a lot of people, people that we decided no longer needed. We also sold Samuel Bastian. I had a deal come in from a Swedish team, Hammarby Football. And yeah, I didn't want Bastian, He was a good player for us, don't get me wrong. He put in some very good performances last year. But I didn't feel he was irreplaceable. I didn't feel, He spoke about out last year about how he was unhappy with his lack of football, and to me, if he does that once, he's going to be likely to do it again. So I didn't really need that in the squad. So I'm letting go for 34,000 to Sweden. And elsewhere, we had the 3 guys who were already planned on leaving, and we also loaned out a youngster to MP. But at the end, we brought in Lucas Toussaint, I think it's pronounced, 24-year age, French centre-back. Played a little bit in the, 3rd tier, I think that is, or is that 4th tier? What's the CFA? That's actually an amateur thing. So actually, yeah, that's not even in the senior leagues, because I think it's what, 1, 2. Is it then National? Yeah, it's in National, and then it's like another one, isn't it? Where like Paris FC play or something like that. But yeah, he has played some first team football to some extent, but he's here just playing as simply as backup. We needed another backup centre back with our other youngster Lidves leaving us. And I thought this guy could, was going to be good enough. So he is, he's got a bit of potential about him. Nothing incredible, but on a relatively small wage. So I'm happy to pay that. Next guy is our backup striker for the season, Nerak Abrahamian. I think it's pronounced Armenian international. So that's really good. Playing on an international stage, to me, says he has some quality. Has, again, played some football for Hamburg St. Pauli's 2nd team. And never really featured for he played 8 times in their first team back in 2017-2018. But yeah, never really played too much, and never really featured a lot. But he's featured for us in this cup competition so far as a sub. He's played 5 substitute appearances and actually scored in a shootout. So yeah, I'm happy with him. Alexis Alengu, I think it's pronounced, maybe. He is, again, another backup player. He's a backup centre midfielder. I thought we needed a new backup centre mid, and I think this guy offers us a great option, you know, not exactly incredible, but got some potential about him, so he could become a starting player here. Depends on how people progress and stuff. And the next guy brought in Axel Gulin, 24-year-old, backup right attacking mid. Of course, with one going out, we had to bring one in. This guy's pretty good as well, you know. Again, not really played too much, but got some potential about him. Half decent currently. Yeah, couldn't really argue with that. And the last guy we brought in was Andrea Alberti, who, again, we needed a backup right back. And I saw this guy out there, 21, £300 a week, small wage, never made an appearance for AC Milan. And again, really not great, but potential about him, could become a half decent player in the future. Overall, yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. And he says he's unhappy with the standard of coaching for fitness. Do I not have a fitness coach? Oh, shit. One of my fitness coaches left and I didn't realise. I will get on that, mate. I think I can have a fitness coach. Oh, no, I can't. Oh, I can get another scout. I should get another scout. But I need to sort that out because that is... that's a little bit worrying. And in fact, we're actually average on a few of these. I don't really like having that. But there is nothing actually we can do because most of our players, or most of our coaches, are actually spread thin anyway. But yep, let's yeah. But that wasn't really the reason why my transfer or the off season was hard. It wasn't because, you know, I couldn't bring the players in I wanted to. I knew that would have happened. That could happen anyway. You know, struggling to bring players in. But we won a treble last year, so I feel the squads should be good enough anyway to get us through another treble this year. But the disappointing thing, or the annoying thing anyway, was the sheer amount of offers. Look at my starting 11. All but 2 of them are wanted by teams. And one of them's not even the contracted or normal starting goalkeeper. And even our normal goalkeeper isn't wanted anyway because he's so old. And it's Kazim Abdullah. And the only reason Kazim Abdullah isn't wanted is because he's leaving at the end of the season. He came to me about a week or 2 ago and said, look, I can't settle into this country. I'm unhappy at this country. And he was like, I want out. I was like, maybe if I bring someone in, you know, who's familiar, like same country as you. And he was like, look, that ain't going to work. Either let me leave or don't. You know, and keep me here against my will. I was like, okay, I'll let you leave. At the end of the season, will you take that? And he was like, yeah. I was like, good, you were probably going to leave anyway due to end of contract. But Abdullah wants to leave. Arthur Worry has been chased by so many teams. Who's he currently wanted by? You know, just to see the magnitude. Brighton, Sheffield United and Wolves. These are all championship teams. All championship teams who are better and bigger reputation-wise than our team. So it's hard to keep these guys here. Borthwick Jackson said he wanted to leave. He's now accepted that he's going to stay. But he wanted to leave. He was adamant about leaving. He had some massive clubs. I think... yeah, it was FC Copenhagen. As I say, I will probably get a few teams confused and stuff because I had so many people say they wanted to leave. But FC Copenhagen wanted Borthwick Jackson, and he said he wanted out. He said he wanted his move to Copenhagen. He said I was keeping him here against his will, but I'm adamant about letting my peoples leave. Why would I let my best players leave and just weaken the team? I spoke about how it's hard to find players due to my lack of scouts. I couldn't even see a replacement for Borthwick Jackson out there. So there was no way he was going to leave to let him go to Copenhagen. Again, Charlie Taylor was another one of them people. He wanted out. He had some big clubs after him, Brentford, Brighton. Chishobla hasn't actually had an official bid, but as you can see, he's got some teams after him. But he's not been one of the players to kick up a fuss. This guy as well, there's a lot of people after him, but again, not kicked up a fuss, not said he wants to leave. Jamie Allen, he said he wanted to leave. He said he wants out. I believe we've sorted that out now. I believe he's willing to stay. He is. But as you can see, Blackburn, Brentford, Brighton. He had some big teams. I believe he had some Swedish teams after him as well. But look, Blackburn of the Premier League. You know, I'm keeping these guys here against their will right now. I'm not sure if David Ammo had people after him. I'm not too sure. Gullin has had people after him, but they're all loan deals and stuff because, of course, he just recently signed. But why would I let him leave on loan? Matthias Gallen actually hasn't had many bids after him, and he's actually not wanted to leave. So big love there for Gallen for doing that. And Cole Stockton has said he wanted to leave, and he said, "Look, I'm on my way out. You're either letting me out or I'm kicking up a fuss." This guy, I think it was caused by Moldy. I believe it was. That was the team that he said, "Look, you're preventing me of a dream move to Moldy." And I'm not sure how many English people will actually say that in their lifetime. But obviously, it would have been a step up for him. But now currently, Brentford are after him. So as you can see, pretty much everyone who played well last year is wanted by someone. And at so many occasions over the off season, I had, people like, oh, how could you not let him leave, or why aren't you letting this guy leave, and why can't I leave? I want to leave. And it was just such a pain, and it was nothing I could really do about it. I'm not going to let my best players leave. End of discussion. There's no way around it. And that's hard. You can't keep everyone happy. That's pretty much what I've learned over this off season. I can't. If I want to be selfish and I want to win trophies here, and that was sort of my reasoning behind it. Every time someone came forward, I said, look, I'm not going to weaken this team to cave in to an individual's wants, desires, or needs. And so I said, look, you're staying. And none of them were happy with it. But after the season started, once we got into our Liga Cup, that all died down. And like I say, after about February or so, all of them pretty much come out and said, look, we're happy to stay here. But it was a hell of a fight. It's never good to have an unhappy player because it can just disrupt your team. And obviously that didn't help as we went into the first game of the season against HJK in the Liga Cup. We lost 2-0. Stanley Boucard got himself sent off in the 44th minute. And we were all over HJK in the first half. We thoroughly deserved to at least get a goal in the first half. But when we came out in the second, it was a lot harder. HJK played a little bit better. We saw a lot of the ball. We saw a few more shots and stuff, a few more chances. But we offered really very little going forward. And in the end, I think the man advantage paid for HJK as they found a few more gaps, which I believe allowed them to score the goals that they did score. After that, we played MYPA, and yet again, we got ourselves another man sent off. This time, it was Kapsim Abdullah, our right back, and not our centre mid, which meant yet again, we found ourselves down to 10 men. But this time, we actually took a 2-0 lead. Aaron Tishoblo got us a goal just before half-time from the penalty spot, and Cole Stockton got us one in the 56th minute before Elwerton and Simone Caruso got MYPA back on level terms. And again, this one disappointed me because we were all over MYPA and we could have very easily have won this game 2-0. And to throw away a 2-goal advantage down to 10 men shows maybe a lack of desire from the team or something. It was just baffling to me. And I was like, oh no, this isn't looking good. 2 red cards, what's going on? Maybe the team aren't going to play well under me. But we finally got our first win of the cup campaign with a 2-1 victory over Honka. They got themselves a man sent off in the 92nd minute. But at that time, it was already 2-1 to us. And as you can see by the match stats and the performance, we probably deserved a win. Jamie Allen was great. He created Tishobla's goal and he even scored one in the 83rd, which ended up being the winner. So, Jamie Allen, who I think at that time had already said he was willing to stay, turning on the style and helping us get the win. After that, MYPA, 1-0 victory. Matai Galangalini only goal of the game. Yet again, another red card. And this time it was our former player returning to play us, Lidquist, getting himself sent off. Beautiful, my son. Come back, get yourself sent off and shoot your team in the foot. Because after that, there was no trouble from MYPA. And it was our game to win. There was never any doubt in my mind. Then we played HJK yet again, this time away from home. Drew 1-1 this time, again all over HJK, and we should have done more. We should have won the game, but our attacking display wasn't up to the standard it needed to be if we wanted all 3 points. And yeah, that's what cost us all 3 points. And again, these 2 games, despite not picking up a win, we should have won. If we hadn't got the man sent off, I felt we would have won the home game. And this one, if we'd have played better going forward and Kazim Abdullah hadn't made the mistake which led to their goal, then we would have won that game. But at that point, going into the last game, we knew a win would put us through and qualify us to the quarter-final. And it was against Honka, and I never really had any doubt in my mind. And I was right not to, because we won 3-1, very comfortable victory. 2-0 up after 20 minutes, 3-0 up at half-time. It was game over by then. They got themselves a consolation in the 60th minute, but like I said, it was already game over, so nice victory, which pushed us on into the quarter-final. So FC Hacker were the first team we played, and this one we won 2-1. Yet again, we found ourselves with a 2-0 lead after the hour mark. Cole Stockton sort of came out in the second half and just started the second half really brightly, really aggressively. Got 2 goals in very similar fashion in a space of 5 minutes. Attacking down that right, ball whipped in, Cole Stockton attacking the near post, smashing it in. The second one was saved on the line, but Cole Stockton smashing a rebound. But like I say, it was all over once we scored the 2. Hacker never really presented much of a threat. We made a few defensive changes in the 62nd minute, and I think that's what led to the goal because, well, like I say, we took off Charlie Taylor and Kazim Abdullah, both fullbacks, actually brought on our right back, the new guy, Andrea Malabaretti, and put Borthwick Jackson out on the left and put Bruno Wilson in the centre. So the whole defence was just all jangled and mixed up and stuff, and I think that led to some confusion, which, like I say, I think led to the goal. But we were still pretty comfortable even after conceding. And then very recently, we yet again had a disappointing semi-final. Yet again, we found ourselves in a semi-final shootout. Last year, we won on penalties. This year, we've also won on penalties. But this one annoyed me because we were 2-0 up after 2-1 up, sorry, after 12 minutes. And I felt we should have won the game. Again, I felt we were comfortable. KUPS was just not really much of a threat. But then near the end of the game, we sort of fell asleep a little and they got the goal back they needed. And of course, there's no extra time in this. So 77th minute, they scored. We tried turning it around. That didn't work. So it went to a shootout. But once we entered that shootout, we scored all 5 of them. And the new signing, our new backup striker, Narak Abdulhamyan, I think, to pronounce that, he scored the winning penalty. He scored the 5th penalty because our keeper actually saved the first. They missed their first spot kick. So they were already fighting a losing battle from that point, and, you know, we never missed one, so good to go through. So, yeah, favourites going into today's tie. It's a repeat of last year's final. We beat Jaro 2-1, in last year's final, with Conor McLaughlin getting the 87th minute winner, if you can remember. So, fingers are crossed today that we can get a win here at Sarana Stadium, which I believe is the stadium we played at last year. It is. So, like I say, pretty much a dead-on repeat, hoping to get the win. So the team today is, like I say, due to the fact Henrik Muisanda, I think, I'm not too sure how to pronounce this guy's name, but due to the fact he is, he's currently travelling, like I say, travelling back from international duty. He's actually due back today, so it's later today. I'm gutted to have missed him. But yeah, so we have a young keeper in goal. Miro Kaneva is making his Lahti debut today. And also we have another youngster on the bench as well, 20 years of age, who could also be making his debut today. So goalkeeping is going to be very shocking in this one, I can tell. Abdullah's at right back, Orthwari, Borthwick Jackson and Taylor is our defence. Our midfield is Chisobla, Labourgne and Allen. And right attacking mid we have Gullin, left attacking mid Gallon, and up front we have Stockton. And the bench, we have Malbaretti, Wilson, our other goalkeeper, of course, I just skipped over him. Alagui, who is our, of course, new signing as well, has made 1 start, which was in the quarter-final, for a tired Allen. Arten Aolson, I'm not too sure how to pronounce that, I think it's Aolson. He's on the bench as well. Jer Carlson, who is, again, could be making his first start of the season today. And we've got Narek Abrahamian. So, I'm still confident, you know, despite the fact we've got a dodgy keeper in goal, someone not proven at this level of football, I'm still confident to some extent that we can walk away with the victory we want. So, they can't look beyond us, even with our goalkeeper in goal. Yes, of course, any team would miss a player. Well, I must say, they've got to be fired up to show they're not a one-man team. One of the biggest games this season. Obviously, Lahti fans will be watching all with high expectations. I can understand how the fans feel. There's a little tension, but I wouldn't be human if that wasn't the case. I like to feel like I'm in control. I like to get that across in the press conferences. I'm in control of the manager on the other team. I'm in control of my team, and I'm in control of my nerves. To some extent, you know, you want to show that you're not chatting shit because you look too confident. Then you look arrogant, and you don't want to look arrogant to your fans. But yeah, let's go. FC Lahti Jaro, first, hopefully, trophy of the season. It'd be nice to win it. I mean, it's not really worth a lot in terms of Hall of Fame points. It's not really seen as a very competitive trophy. It's pretty much, like I've said it before, I think I said last year as well, it's sort of like the Community Shield from what I'm picking up from it of trophies. You know, it's not worth a lot. I can make as many subs as I want in this. So, you know, there's no like laws and there's not really much pressure on it. But it'd be nice to get get a win, and there we go. We get ourselves a penalty in only 15 minutes in. And Tshobla is going to be the one to step up and take it, I believe. Number 25. I resorted out my kick takers, and it is Tshobla. Chance to give us the lead, and he does. Aaron Tshobla, 16 minutes in. Perfect. You know, ideal start to the game. Maybe a bit fortunate with the penalty kick, but I don't care, you know, as long as it's a lead. Jamie Allen with a set piece, and Borthwick Jackson trying to find Orthwari, and Gullin has somehow seen his shot kept out. Great goalkeeping from Jaro there. Wow, I don't know how he kept out Gullin's chance, and they've cleared one off the line, but Borthwick Jackson is there. So many opportunities in such a short space of time there. And 2-0, 4 minutes after we scored a penalty. What a great bit of football, what a great bit of play from us. 2 set pieces just causing havoc in the box, and Borthwick Jackson gets himself a goal. And now this is our final. You know, we're in control. We're the ones with the... You know, we can do what we want, I feel. I feel we should win this game comfortably. Now it's about protecting our young goalkeeper so we can give him a clean sheet on his debut, and maybe even trying to push on to get a few more. But I'd be happy with a 2-0 victory. But Gallon, culling inside, running, still got a bit of space, plays it to Stockton. If he can look to whip this one in, there are two people in the box. He finds Gallon, and we make it 3-0. What a beautiful bit of play. Gallon seeing the space, just walking and keep on going. Spots a beautiful through ball to Stockton, and Stockton on his, turns back onto his strong right foot, whips it in, and Gallon, with not even that much time and space in the box, but still somehow takes a touch and slots it home. 3-0 FC Lahti, and it is surely now got to be considered 1 down, 2 to go in terms of another treble winning year. I know they just scored and the keeper's to blame, but of course I'm not going to be annoyed because I knew it was going to happen. The defence have just got to try and do their best to try and protect the young lad, because things like that will happen. You know, shots aimed straight at him will end up seeming to go straight through him because he's just not got the ability. Ibrahim Jaro maybe trying to get some sort of fight back. Oh no, we're going to get ourselves a man sent off. What is wrong with our ball-winning midfielders this year? They can't seem to control themselves. That is the second red of the season in that singular position. That's our 3rd red card of the year in all positions. Alright, I'm going to keep it the same tactic. I'm just going to change you to a defensive-minded, deep-lying playmaker defend, and no substitute is required from this. Something I like about this tactic is I can find that I don't really need to change the tactic. I don't really need to make a sub, even with the players I've got, because I think the players are good enough to even play with 10 men. Although, of course, that what I've just said there will be put to the test in the remainder of this game. Gallum. Oh, what a run, my son. Shame the shot. It wasn't too bad, but, you know, it didn't really have the power to beat Ust in goal. And Gullin, maybe even a poor throw out, we could get another chance here. Allen bursting forward, finds Gallon, who finds Stockton, and oh my god, couldn't keep his shot down. That's an understatement. His big old toe got underneath that ball and it went flying high. And yeah, I've got to be pleased with that. I've got to be pleased with that. So I'm very pleased with the performance, lads. Keep it up. Something in the semi-final, because of course in the semi-final we had a 2-1 lead, and we threw it away and we drew 2-2 and ended up going to penalties. I said to the team, or the assistant manager was like, yeah, we shouldn't be happy with this. And I was like, yeah, we shouldn't. So I said it, and then they all looked confused and demotivated. And Axel Gullin came forward and said, look, I'm not happy with how you do your team talk. So hopefully I'm just going to praise them a little bit, hopefully, over the next few games. But I don't really see myself, unless we throw this away as we could be about to. 3-2, Jaro have now just got a point gap, and yet again the keeper is to blame for the goal. I mean, you could argue the defence could do more to protect him, but in one-on-one situations like that, the keeper's got to do everything he can. And yeah, look at that, he didn't even really dive until the ball rattled the back of the net, already come back out. Pretty much the ball's outside the goal because he's hit the net so hard it's flown back out, and then the keeper reacts to it. So we do need another goal now to try and get this lead into a comfortable position once more. Arthur Worry out on the wing, trying to cross it back in. Somehow it finds a black shirt, and Gullin with the goal. The defence didn't get out of their box. That's something you seem to always hear. You know, Sunday League, typical thing. Just get out, get it out, and stuff like that. But look at that, the guy. What's he doing? The guy who plays them all on side decided when the ball was out here, I'm going to run back into my goal. I can't believe that. That's shocking defending from Jaro, and they'll only have themselves to blame if they lose this game, because you can't concede 4 and expect to win. And oh no, Gallon's picked up an injury. It does mean Coulson is going to have to come on. But it's not necessarily a bad thing. I'm alright. You know, I don't really mind bringing these players on because they might not have the best current ability and stuff, but they're still good enough to play at this level of football, you know, unlike our goalkeeper. So, anyone looking tired or need to be coming off? Maybe Borthwick Jackson. I'm actually going to take Arthur Worry off and bring on Bruno Wilson on a yellow. Not playing particularly well. Could easily make another mistake. Get himself sent off. We don't need to go down to 9 men. You know, we've already proved it relatively difficult with 10. Actually, we haven't, because we're still all over them. And in fact, we could be about to get a 6th here. Oh my god, let's say, how is that not a penalty? And why is that goal being disallowed? He was offside. I said 6th. I should have said 5th. Sorry. But yeah, even going down to 10 men, I was right by saying, look, we should have enough ability with this tactic and everything and the players we've got to still walk away with the win. And we did. You know, if it wasn't for our dodgy keeper in goal, we probably would have even kept a clean sheet. So, no, this last highlight of the game goes out for a goal kick. But there we go. We have won the Liga Cup for the second consecutive season. Well done, lads. No comment about the red card, please. We've won the league. We've won the cup. We'll focus about that after we've won the cup. We'll celebrate now in the tunnel. So, despite having a man sent off, we still won the game 4-2. Like I said, we won it back-to-back now. And let's have a little look at who was the last team to win it back-to-back. It was HJK before us. But how many teams have actually won it back-to-back in the history? You know, considering HJK have won it 6 times, we only join a list of 4 teams to have won it back-to-back. VPS, HJK, who have done it on 2 occasions, in fact winning it 3 times in a row, and Honker as well. So we join a we join a selected few, and quite a some decent teams there as well. But to me, it's all about just winning as much as we can, and we've put in a great performance throughout this cup run, and now it's about turning our attention to the league. Of course, it's about starting again there. I said we are favourites to win this. And we are. If I go on season preview. Sorry if this is lagging, lads. I just realised something. But yeah, if we go on to season preview, as you can see, we are dead on favourites, best odds, and hopefully, we can reflect that. We can go into this season and just dominate yet again, because that is the aim. That's the aim. We'll have a look at the Hall of Fame, because of course we're not going to go up anywhere, but we'll just have a little look how many points we now officially have in the Hall of Fame. We've got 114 based on all of our clubs ever, and there we go, our second ever trophy, the only trophy we have ever won twice so far in our history, and it's the Liga Cup. So, next time I will meet you back will be 11 games into the league season like last time, so it'll be somewhere around Jaro, IFK or something, it'll be somewhere like that. So, until then, guys, peace out.